Aloha big wave trading family. Before we get into the new long positions, I want to make it very clear that we are extremely overbought in the short and midterm in the stock market. The Nasdaq, NYSE, Russell 2000, Dow Jones Industrial Average, you name it, we're extended and overbought. If we can continue to pull back like we have so far on Friday and Monday on lower volume than the previous uptrend, in a nice orderly fashion like we so far are from the recent highs. If we can continue to do that, that bodes well as we work our way through the most recent earnings season. I want to remind everybody there is still 2 weeks left of historical seasonal weakness. After, let's see, hold on, let me go down here. Whenever it gets to be the 23rd of October, then we can put our bull hats on. But we still have to get through earnings season. I tell you what, if we hold up through earnings season, and once that seasonality turns positive, it would not surprise me if we don't have a blockbuster November and December uptrend. But at the same time, I don't expect that. If it doesn't occur, you better believe my stops will be in place, and I will not force new long positions if they are not legitimate new long positions. So with that being said, once again, just another sign that this market probably wants to go higher. We pulled back today, but I somehow still found 4 stocks that I can go long, but I also got a hedge signal, and we'll end with that. But the first long position I want to go over is PAR. PAR initially flagged in my CanSlim scan. Wasn't that interested in it, though I did like the rounding off the 50-day moving average, but I knew it happened to be a low price perfect speculator scan stock. And once I confirmed that it was, PAR became a new long position. So the plan is 2% for being CanSlim, 1% for being perfect speculator, 3% position. Candle over candle off the 50-day moving average, slightly higher volume. My MACD and RSI 14 oscillators are confirming the move. I want to get long. Limit order 1037, first cut loss 977, final cut loss 965. Keeping some tight stops. I don't want to be too loosey-goosey here with us being an overbought market, so I want these things to work immediately, or we'll get out, maybe re-wait for a setup again, or it won't ever set up again and then we'll never have to worry about it. But PAR is the largest position at 3%. The next new long position is GMBC. Same similar situation. GMBC initially flagged in my CanSlim quality scan. I knew that it was perfect speculator quality, but I waited to the confirmation, and once I was confirmed perfect speculator, it definitely is going to become a new long position. So GMBC, same thing. Candle over candle price bar on above average volume, heavier volume. Even though BOP, just like PAR, is going the wrong way, the MACD and RSI 14 relative strength index is confirming the curl higher. The problem with GMBC, short term, a little extended. It's touching the 10-day moving average, which is great, and the 5-day moving average. But as you can see, the 20-day moving average is slightly far away. And since the 20-day moving average isn't quite like lined up with either these lows here, my first cut loss level, it is considered extended. So I don't want to chase the position. New long order at 2365. First cut loss level here, 2265. Final cut loss here, 2145. It's supposed to be possibly up to a 5% long position. Well, no, 4. 2% for being CanSlim, 1% for being a low price perfect speculator scan quality, and it was also my new 52-week high scan. But it's extended, so we got to half it, so it's a 2% long position. And if you don't want to use this first cut loss level, you can use just these recent lows. But no matter what, a move below 2145, you better be all out of GNBC. And then there's IPI. IPI was only in my perfect speculator scan, but this one, harsh little pullback, big volume on the reversal off the 50-day moving average yesterday, and a confirmation move today with about average volume. BOP isn't confirming, but with that support right there, with my MACD and RSI indicators confirming that the uptrend is still intact, I think we have a pretty good safe place to go long. Limit order 406. I see after hours it's slightly higher. I don't chase. So if I get long at 406, or it runs without me. EVRI did that today. So the ad signal in EVRI was 812. It pulled back to 816, but if you use 816 as your high day and this thing would have failed, you know, you would have risked 5-6% of your money to lose. Now I know it's up 5%, but hindsight's 2020. I still would never chase. It wasn't filled at 812. So I didn't get an ad signal in EVRI, and the same thing will happen with IPI. IPI gaps above 406, I'm not chasing, so I get long at 406 or I forget about it. First cut loss level right here, 378. Today's low of day. Final cut loss level right there, 358. It was only in the perfect speculator low price scan, not confirmed anywhere else. So it's just 1% of the account capital. And then there's Very. Very was a very, very, very hot IPO. Even after day one, it still made a nearly 500% moves at the ultimate highs, 460 on a closing basis. It's done a Fibonacci retracement, and it's finding support right off the 36 level. This also was support at 36. Now we have a bullish hammer reversal, full body, candle over candle pattern. Volumes well above average, and there's even confirmation with BOP. Oh, somebody just came in the chat room there, sorry. So whenever that happens, because it's a volatile name up 10%, there's only one cut loss level. So the goal with Very, limit order. I am not chasing, even though it's at the 25 and 10, below it actually. I'm not chasing due to this stock being up so much. So my limit order is at 40.98. If it moves below 36, I am completely out. This is technically a 2% long signal. However, if I put 2% of my account capital into this name in this overbought market, I will be putting too many dollars at risk. So I want to get it to a level where my dollars at risk justifies using the stop at 36. You don't want to take a full 2% position and be like, oh my God, if this thing goes down even 20 cents, I got to get out because I risk too much. That's an illogical and irrational stop level, and you can guarantee you'll be shaken out and taken out of the trade. So I want to get a position that's large enough that if it works, it pays off, and if it doesn't work, I can still get out with a limited amount of dollar loss. So Very, supposed to be 2%, but it might only be 1% of my capital. 40.98, first cut loss and only cut loss 36. And then the best position, the best signal, and the one that if you only have, let's say you only have like, for me, a 1% position is right around 5,000 of my dollars. Let's say that I only have $8,000. Well, 5,000 goes into SRTY, and the other 3,000 gets distributed amongst Very, GMBC, IPI, and PAR. The focus here is SRTY. Hedges always are priority when we're fully long, maxed out long, in an overbought market. When hedges trigger, these are the priority. If I have $4,100, $4,100 goes into SRTY. If I have $5,500, $5,000 goes into SRTY, 500 goes in the other four names. Hopefully you understand what we're doing here. But SRTY, very, 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 very low risk signal here. You can even buy puts on the Russell 2000 if you want. 35.25 will be my limit order, and there's only one cut loss level. A break below today's low a day, 34.22. Now what I do on these hedges when they're so low risk, let's say I only risk about 2-3%, and if it gets back to its old highs, to gain possibly 27 to 30%. I'll take that reward risk ratio 10 to 1 any day. So if I buy 100 shares of SRTY and it fails 34.22, I'll be knocked out of 50. Now, whatever then Tuesday's new low a day becomes, that then is my final cut loss level. But on an end of day basis, if it moves below 34.22, you'll be all out. So once again, PAR 3%, 1037 limit. The two cut loss levels, they'll be on the new positions page that I went over earlier. IPI 406 limit, 1% of my account capital. GMBC 2% of my account capital, 2365 limit. VERI 40.98 limit. Technically it's a 2% position. No way I'll put that much in it. SRTY 35.25 limit order. That gets the full 1% of my capital. All right, everyone, very good pullback on Monday. It would be nice to see this continue on low volume throughout the rest of the week, work off the overbought conditions. There were 0 full sell signals today. There was only 1 partial full sell signal on Friday. That's pretty good in an overbought market. All indications point to a market that ultimately wants to go higher. Aloha.